Welcome to an amendment video. I don't know, is amendment the right word? An
Yes.
additional, a sequel?
Yeah, we're not changing anything from the previous one, so maybe not amendment.
Amendment might not be the right word, but we made a video that was an apartment tour in December, and we had shown a breakdown of the cost that it takes to move in and some of the monthly costs, but we didn't get into the cost of the bills and stuff. And honestly, that had been something that I had intended to.
I was sitting here thinking about how do you say the bills, and my mind just went the condiments of life. Like this is the ketchup and the mustard of making your life function.
So we
really bad.
We hadn't discussed that in the previous video, and we had asked people if they think that our apartment, like, is it expensive, is it cheap compared to where they live? But we realized, especially once people started asking, that the utilities is a big part of that. Mm-hmm. And that helps you quantify, like, if rent is expensive or not. And some people actually ask, like, oh, which utilities are included? Because I think in some rental places, like, the water is included or whatever, the gas is just part of the thing.
Nothing is included.
Nothing is included here.
Just being in that building.
That does actually remind me of something else that we left out in the video. When you move into an apartment or something in like another country, sometimes there's a refrigerator and stuff. When you move in here, there's nothing. It's empty.
We actually mentioned
that. We did mention that? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And I talked about how there was some lighting here, but we've moved into apartments that had no lighting.
Nothing.
We spent our first night in our first apartment
with a flashlight or something.
With a flashlight or something like that. We had no light. So that shouldn't come as a big surprise to people that you won't have anything. You're going to dish out for a washing machine or refrigerator.
Yeah.
A toaster, because got to have toast on
Sometimes
the weekends.
all the lights have to be bought, et cetera, et cetera. If you are like, what are these people talking about? I'll link down below, like the apartment walkthrough video, so you can see what type of apartment we have. That would be a better thing to watch before this, and then you can come in here, and then this will make a lot more sense. So, yeah, what we've done is we have compiled all of the bills that we can think of off the top of our head that are like monthly reoccurring things.
And I've averaged them out over the time that we've been here, which for some bills was 11 months, other bills was 12 months, depending on the billing cycle.
Okay.
So
the one thing I do want to point out is that we did have like 3 weeks one time and 3 weeks another time where we weren't here because we were on trips. So that would have made like electrical usage and stuff lower. So this is probably a little bit low, but it sort of depends on how much you use, of course. And like, you know, a month in the middle of the summer, we used the electric aircon unit a little bit. And some other times, of course, we don't use it at all.
The winter, we seem to use the heat a lot more than we do aircon during the summer, which global warming would not have you thinking that.
Well, our situation is special with using the electricity in the summer because we live kind of on a high floor, and if we open our doors, we get a really good breeze. And I didn't really need to use the electricity that much. I didn't turn the aircon on very much.
If it gets to 30 inside the building, I turn it on.
I usually just put a fan on me,
like,
and I'm
28
fine.
With a breeze is totally cool.
Yeah. But we would use the fan a lot, but a fan doesn't use so much electricity. But yeah, so for us, the more expensive months are winter, but we tend to spend winters on trips. So that probably, these numbers might be a little bit lower, I guess, than somebody that would be living in their apartment all
the
year
time.
long.
No vacations, constantly there.
And of course, this is a sample size of one. And the other thing to keep in mind is in our building that we're in, we are in the middle of the building. So there are apartments below us, to the left, to the right, and above us. So there's insulation that's happening just from the nature of that. And if you had like a corner apartment or something, then you would have less insulation to help keep you warm. So there is that to think about. But
thank you, neighbors.
Yeah, thank you, neighbors, for your warmness. All
right.
So yeah, here's the breakdown.
Monthly costs, yen, dollars. This time,
American dollars.
I remembered. American dollars. Yes.
And can I just say dollary-doos again? I just like
these are not dollary-doos.
I've been thinking about this. I really want to go to Australia now, just to be like, oh yeah, we got this burger and it was $14 or whatever. I just want. My main reason for wanting to go.
Consider it done.
Okay.
All right. So rent we covered in the last video that we made, and that broke down to 134,300 yen, which would be Around about $1,200 for rent. That doesn't include any of the utilities, as we said before.
This number does include a maintenance fee that you have to pay to the building.
Yeah.
And that, like, because there are security here, and there are
People who work at the
people
front
who
desk
work at the
that
front
help.
desk, and there are people, you know, they do maintenance, like keeping the garden,
Elevators
not the elevator.
working.
Yeah, the garden, not the garden, but the
Landscaping.
Landscaping and stuff. And then every month they go through and they clean out the building, and then people come around sometimes and like check in your apartment for like the
Make sure the fire alarms
are functioning, things like that. So there is a maintenance fee, but it's just kind of built in. Like, you don't think about it as a separate
No,
thing.
you don't. You think about it as like that's what you pay per month for rent,
Yeah.
including the maintenance fee.
Mm-hmm.
Gas, I was surprised to see, wasn't super expensive. This is 850 yen, equaling $7. It's not very expensive at all. We don't do very much cooking. So I think that's one of the reasons why it's so low for us. But gas is being used when we're taking showers. When else is gas being used? When we use
This
the
gets
heat?
fuzzy. I don't know if that includes that heating unit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because, okay, so where we specifically happen to live, gas, water, and electricity are all combined onto one bill. So I don't know if there's some way they're breaking out a difference for the heat that is used for heating the bot that heats up like with gas, the water, and then blows hot air out, that thing that we
That sounds
have.
very confusing. So I'm going to explain that
Okay,
really
thank you.
quickly. We have a air conditioning bot in our place that is only for hot. There is a pipe that is in the wall. When you tell this machine to turn on, a flame ignites the pipe to heat up the water, and then air is blown across the pipe, and that heats the air that goes into your apartment.
And the way it was explained to me is that it uses a little bit of water. Like, it's not just cycling new water. Sometimes there has to be more water put into it, and the system just does that all on its own. So it uses water, it uses gas to heat it with the flame, and then it uses electricity to blow the air out.
So this bot is a bit of a mystery. We've heard
is.
some things about it, and I'm shocked that our gas bill is that low
I am
on
surprised
average.
too. Yeah. But you know what that is? That's on average. Did you notice by any chance off the top of your head if winter
Any
costs
outliers?
were
No.
high or low? No.
Nah.
Because I mean, like
nothing went over
we
1,000
wouldn't
yen.
turn that thing on at all until like November until like March, and between between November and March it get used. All the other month it's not on.
Yeah.
And we don't cook very much, like you said. Hot water for the showers, I guess, would be another thing that
It's
would be used.
just flaming while we're
while
in the
we're cooking,
shower.
cleaning our
cleaning ourselves.
scrubbing us.
Water was really stood out to me, and I'd really like this. Let me just tell you, I'm trying to get this down to below Ichiman.
That's really expensive.
I feel it's very expensive compared to all of our other bills. Like, where's the water going? What water are we using? Are we using the water right now?
No.
Why is it so expensive? So this is like 11,600 yen, which is $106
A month for water.
a month for water. Yeah, I'm a bit astounded at that price.
I take 2 showers sometimes though.
Yeah. And sometimes I sit there and I'm like, I should probably turn off the water while I'm brushing my teeth. I brush my teeth.
I
in the
try to
shower.
turn off I try to do the same
I
thing.
do the same. You saw me.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
forget.
And then, so we'll get out of where I'm cringing about price.
I'm wondering if this part of the bill is accounting for the gas that comes
Is
out
some
of
of
that
the
thing.
gas?
No,
That
yeah,
could be
the way
true.
it was explained to me when the dude set it all up was that it wasn't using the gas price for some reason. Like, there's some weirdness about the way that it's built out. that
Shall I go get the thing?
I don't know. I've looked at it. I don't know if I'm going to understand it, to be
Okay, cool.
honest. So, yeah, like, just when they set it up, it's very confusing because of the way that this whole system functions and the way that one company is accounting for all 3 of these different utilities. You can show it to me, but I don't know if I'm going to have any idea.
I'm back.
These are the numbers we pay, though, so that at least is accurate if you add them all up and figure out like what we're paying for a month.
Any gas there? Let me entertain. So I did all these maths by
What
myself.
month is this? This is for October. So this says Dawn Bolt. So that's the heating thing, and that was 0 this month.
Interesting.
So it says we didn't use any of that thing's heating abilities.
Oh, that was for October. Yeah.
For
Okay.
October. We wouldn't have used it for October. So it is broken out separately.
So water is now including our heating, like our heat bot that uses the gas, the water, and the electricity. That is part of our water bill. So with that included in the water, it kind of makes sense that the gas is so low. So maybe if you took that and mentally divided it into two, I'd go, oh wow, those are great prices.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also says specifically that they are charging us. Charging us. They're breaking out that you're paying for the incoming water and the outgoing water. So like when you flush the toilet, that is part of the water bill.
I tried to flush the toilet like lighter. Because toilets in Japan have where
the big flush and the little flush.
The big flush and the little flush. So I was holding the little flush for 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's just a big flush.
No, it wasn't a big flush. It might have been a big flush. Anyhow, I was doing that, but I don't think that's doing anything, so I've moved on to the big flush.
And there is something here that says like, I can't read the whole thing, but it says like internal heating something like fee, internal heating fee. It's all in Japanese. It's not like the kind of kanji that you study. And it says that's 511 yen.
All right, well, that makes sense now, understanding what's included in the water and what's included in the gas. The electricity seems pretty straightforward. There was no other sort of breakdown on it. It just came out to 4,400 yen, which is about $40.
That's pretty cheap.
And I'd say that's cheap. That's good. I'm not disappointed in that price at all. Like, the light's on right now, doing good.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that this gas number is just for cooking and that's it. And that this water bill also includes, I think this is water and
then you know what this is?
wall gas.
This is just boiling eggs. This is the price to boil eggs.
I make curry rice. Yeah, but I'm thinking that this includes the heating system in the wall and the water that heats for our showers.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be my best.
Okay, then that definitely makes sense. On to internet. Internet is broken into two things. We have home and we have phones, just like you do. And
we have a fiber internet line
that Eric recently said, so fast.
I will screenshot a speed test right here so you can see, for those of you that care, how fast the internet is. It's fast. I upload these videos sometimes, they're like 10 gigs, and it like uploads in a couple of minutes. I mean, I don't have any need for it to be fast. I'm sure there's faster internet out there, but I just don't need it. As long as something streams when I click the button, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So it does that.
So that quality internet that makes us ever so happy goes at about 4,800 yen, about $44. I don't remember what internet used to cost in America.
It depended, because it was bundled in with cable and all that stuff. But I think that cost is totally cool. And then
the setup.
When we moved in, this isn't a monthly thing. This only happened once. We had to pay a construction fee, and this is hit and miss when you move into buildings. Sometimes the person that before you had the exact same service, so the cable is already there, and sometimes it's not there, and you have to pay for them to come and run the cable.
Sometimes it's a very special apartment, and they've got to rewire certain things and hang wires from the ceiling of the bathroom.
Yeah, and that's what's happened to us. They didn't know how to get through for some reason into the intercom system, which is in the living room, so the modem is in the bathroom. Okay. I mean, whatever, it can be there.
Very strange.
It's totally fine. It was just a little strange. How much was that to do?
So that was 14,000 yen, $128.
Which was one time.
It was one time, and I just find that really annoying.
It took them hours too.
Yeah. It took multiple people up in our bathroom.
A guy came and was like, I don't know what to do, and they had to send
There were 3 people in a very small toilet room at one point in time. And that's pretty impressive, the commitment to getting us internet. Our phones, I always feel really proud of this. We only use data. We don't use
we don't
telephone
have numbers.
So that's all we use. 1,400 yen, around $13 a month for both of us.
Both of us combined.
Yes.
So it's like $7.50 each, or $6.50 a piece.
Yeah. So if you're looking for very cheap internet, IIJ is fantastic. I've never had a problem. Had perks. Have quit the service, come back to the service.
We have a limited amount of data. It's 6 gigs a month, I think, something like that.
It might even be less now that we're out of that
but
special
we hardly ever. I mean, I use it. I never watch videos on it or anything. I only ever use it for uploading pictures to Instagram and like obviously doing like normal internet stuff like maps and stuff like that. So it's totally fine for what we use. I wouldn't mind getting a number at some point, like just because I think it would make things easier. But we've just been lazy about it, and we didn't even
I have not been lazy about about it. I actually looked up how much it costs, and it would almost quadruple how much we're paying. And I was like, that's
just to
not
have a
worth
number.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not lazy.
Yeah,
I'll look that
okay,
shit up.
cool.
And so that brings us to the total of what one would assume for our rent, all condiments of life, our bills. And was there anything else? Nope, those are the main things. 157,350 yen, 1446
In American dollars.
the total in the non-dollary dues.
And that includes our rent.
Yes.
And we live, if you don't remember from the previous video, we live in Tokyo, like in the metropolitan area of Tokyo.
Yep. We are a 5-minute walk away from a station. We are in a very historic area, which is shocking that this is possible.
And we are in a nice, yet not posh. We're in a nice building, but it's not posh.
Yeah.
It's not like a doorman with a nice hat. There is a man out there sometimes that says
He's out there.
"Konbanwa" to you when you go out in the evenings, but there's not like...
But all he's doing is making sure there's nobody skateboarding in the
We had a couple of other... What happened to your phone? We had a couple of other little tidbits that people had asked about.
Yeah.
So people had mentioned... When you think about this number also and all of this stuff, keep in mind we don't have a car. So we don't have the costs of... not the car mortgage, the loan for a car. The loan for a car, we don't have that. We don't have gas prices. We don't have insurance. We don't have the occasional parking ticket. We don't have parking fees. We don't have maybe get in a car accident and have the stress. None of that stuff. We don't have a vehicle. And I mean, sometimes having a car is awesome, but it's hard to argue a car being cheap. Like when you really think about what it costs to have a car. So keep that in mind, like when you look at this and think about your life, like, okay, you also have got a car or whatever. So people had asked, well, what about like how expensive is the train? And the deal with Japan, and this is amazing, this is something that still blows my mind. If you have a job in Japan, 9 times out of 10, your company pays for a commuter pass. So you get like a little card that you use to get on and off the train or whatever, like a digital like NFC like enabled card thing, and it is basically a all you can ride card for the entire month. So when Katie would go to work, if she went without the card, it's what, 270 yen or something?
250.
250 yen, so like $2.25 or something, one direction. So you'd be looking at like around $5 a day round trip. Like that's completely neutralized.
Covered,
It's completely covered by her company. Her company pays for the entire thing, and that's just the standard practice here in Japan. So the thing that's cool about that card is she only goes to work Monday through Friday, but if we want to go to the other side of the city or that area, we can use her pass and we can go over there for free on Saturday and Sunday or whatever.
It's important to point out that only covers from point A to point B and the areas in
Anything
between.
in between.
We have seen some weird things that have allowed us to go to strange stations with the commuter pass, but we don't really know how it worked.
Yeah, it's complex.
If you go outside of the commuter pass, it won't be covered, but any distance that you use prior to transitioning off of your commuter pass, that will still be counted for. It would only charge you the additional.
Yeah. So that completely makes, like, your commute is basically paid for. You don't even have to think about that. So really the only time you're paying for the train is if you don't have a job or you're doing recreational stuff.
Yeah, like last night I went to hang out with friends and like my company's not going to pay for that. So, you know, those $8 to get there and back was like, all right, I got to eat that.
Yeah. But I mean, when you think about how often, if you live in a neighborhood where we don't leave our neighborhood that often, like I don't get on the train every single day, like maybe once or twice a week. So I'll spend like $5 or something once or twice a week. It's like $20 a week or something to just do recreational things, going to a different area to shop or going to a different area to get a bite to eat or meeting a friend or something like that. Little things like that. It really isn't that expensive.
That brings to my mind that we have the Tokyo Metro, we have the JR, we have several other smaller train stations. And if you stay, systems. If you stay on one system, your prices tend to be lower. But once you start pairing the systems to try and get to one place, like last night I went to a friend's house, I had to ride 2 different train systems. It makes it more expensive. So you can kind of look at that and try to reduce how many train systems you're on to reduce your prices. I do that all the time.
Usually Google will give you, Google Maps is what we use now just to figure out where to transfer and stuff. It'll give you like different selections that you can pick or whatever.
And show you the price.
Yeah. The Japanese trains are kind of expensive, but not inside of cities usually, is basically what I'm getting to. Like when she's taking like a $5 round trip ride to her job, it's the other side of the city. It's like a 35-minute train ride. And it's like, I think 11 or 12 kilometers. I looked it up recently.
Oh, wow.
So like that's not that expensive for the distance and the time and where it gets you and everything, and especially since it's paid for by a company. It's great. When Japanese trains get expensive is when you're going on trips outside of the city and you're going great distances. You're on the train and you're going to go 50 kilometers outside of the city or something. That could be $15,
when
something
asked
like that.
to go hiking, like I immediately think to myself, okay, so I'm dropping $20 on transport to get an hour and a half out of the city.
And sometimes we look at that and we count the number of people we have and we're like, it would be cheaper to rent a car or rent a van, and everybody split that up and just drive. So it really just depends on what's going on. But for basically daily usage inside of the city, the trains are fairly priced.
Yeah.
And I think especially if you compare it to Hong Kong or you compare it to Seoul, it's expensive. But if you compare it to Europe or whatever, I feel like it was quite a bit cheaper. So it really depends on where you're coming from and stuff, but it's fair. Other things on our list here is somebody.
How are you going to pay those bills?
Yeah, how we pay the bills. It's kind of a mixture. The traditional way of paying bills is they send you a bill in the mail. Like, I don't want to hold this up because it's got our address on it and stuff. But they send you a bill in the mail, and it's got like a barcode, and you take the barcode literally. I'm not joking. To the convenience store, 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Lawson, one of the convenience stores, and you pay the bill with cash and cash only at the convenience store. They won't let you pay with a credit card. They won't let you pay with gift cards or anything. It has to be cash. So
dropping gift cards.
Well, we have one. We have a gift card I can use at 7-Eleven, and they wouldn't let me pay the bills with it. So you just take your bills down to the convenience store and they scan it at the register and then you hand them cash. So that's how a majority of the bills get paid historically. However, recently our internet fee and our phones are just paid with credit cards on the internet.
Yeah, it's just a recurring payment.
Yeah, you just set up a recurring payment.
You can set up a recurring payment for gas, water, and electricity. We have not done that, and I don't really know why. It's probably just because you're going to have to send in another form, and it'll probably be more complicated
it's
than
just
either
not
of
hard
us
to,
care about.
It's not hard to go to the convenience store.
It's not hard to just go to the convenience store, and then you can kind of feel how things are coming out of your pocket in a way. Like,
yeah, I mean, not really.
Look, I was never even thinking about this number.
I pay the bills. That's why you haven't thought about it. Yeah. The rent comes out of your bank account direct. It's a direct deposit, whatever system.
And you cannot pay that personally on a monthly basis.
Yeah, they make you do it like that.
Do it through the banks so that they have a direct siphon right into your monies.
Yeah. So that's how that all gets paid. The last thing that people asked about was the car parking and bike parking. So our building has free bike parking in the basement. So if we had bicycles, which we don't really even feel like we need because of the convenience of the area we live in, it would be free to park them. Yeah. There is no place to park, and you're not even allowed. You can't pay. You can't park a car in our building. You can't park a motorbike, anything with an engine or motor or anything like that. There's no place to park it.
You don't think you can, because you can.
Motorbikes?
Motorbikes and cars. You haven't seen the parking area? Interesting.
It's not included with our rent or anything.
It's not included, no.
Okay.
You have to pay to do it.
Okay.
I thought you were saying that
I didn't know. That's what I was saying. I didn't think it existed.
There's a building right next to the trash. And that building is for parking for our building. And there's several motorbikes in there. I saw like 4 or 5 recently.
I have looked at... Okay, so obviously I don't know. But I have noticed that motorbike parking is usually about $100 a month.
$100 a month just to
park a motorbike. I don't know what a car parking is because we would never have a car here.
I don't know, and it's going to probably be by the day, and then
it would be monthly for sure. But I don't have an idea what it would be. So that would just be another like thing additional for if you own a car here. If you own a car in Tokyo, you are essentially very wealthy. Is really what it comes down
Every
to.
time we see somebody with a car, well, if you have a car and it's not parked in your house, you're actually just parking it in a parking space. Holy crap, you must have money.
Yeah, but if you have a car, if you have a house with a parking space, you have money.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So,
You have a house.
yeah. Can you think of anything else that is in this pile of bills?
No, I feel like we've covered it quite well. And I'm glad we cleared up the water gas issue so that I don't sit there and turn off the water all the time. If I just divide it by 2 and put some of that in the gas,
I think it's part of the heating system as a piece of that. Yeah.
Still feeling quite good about what we pay.
I mean, for central Tokyo or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody inside the Yamanote lines is like, that's not central Tokyo. Yeah, we're on the Ginza line. This is old school central.
Inside the circles, nah. That's like, almost like inside the circle is outside outside the Tokyo.
We used to live inside the circle, and I used to look down on outside the circle people, I'll be honest. It's like, you don't live in Tokyo. Come on now. You're not in the Yamanote line. We lived like literally 100 yards inside of the Yamanote line. The people on the other side of the tracks, I was like sticking my nose up at them. Yeah, so I think that is a pretty good way of summing everything up. And hopefully that clears up some of the questions and everything. Do you have any sign off? I don't have any sign off.
We don't have a sign off.
We're bad at sign offs. Peace out, y'all.
Liking, subscribing, commenting, and belling helps teach YouTube you enjoy our videos and is much appreciated. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter too, all linked below. Hawaii videos are on the way soon.